Shri Gurubhyo Namah Hari Om. Om Sahanavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastama Vipishavahi. Om Shanti 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 Tatra Viparamo Dharmaha Japastutyadikam Hare. So yesterday we saw even there the chanting and singing the praise of Ishvara is a greater dharma. But this is not at the expense of your daily rituals, Sandhya Vandana, etc. That we saw yesterday. So next he says, Kshina papasya chittasya viveke yogyata yada nitya nitya vekastu jayate sudharastada. So what happens if you perform these karmas? When you perform these karmas, your mind gets purified. Your mind gets purified. So that is what he says. Kshina papasya chittasya. When the mind, kshina papasya means papa, sin. Kshina means when it is destroyed. Chittasya, the mind. When the mind, the impurities of the mind, the sins of the impurities is the sin. Sin is the impurity. Sin is what is coming as the obstacle. So papa, translating papa as sin is the worst kind of translation possible. Since we don't have any good word for papa, you say demerit, then again there is a problem. You say sin, there is a problem. So let us understand papa as papa. So papa, when it is sin, it is demerit, it is all that. So whatever is gained through, let us say vice. So this vice which is removed from your mind, when the vice is removed, what happens? Viveke yogyata tada yada. Viveke yogyata yada. When that is removed, then the eligibility of the mind for inquiry is received, is gained. Yogyata means eligibility. Veke means indiscrimination. Indiscrimination means into inquiry. So then what happens? Nitya nitya vekastu jayate sudhastha. Only when you do the perform the sadhanas properly, your mind gets purified. Sadhanas only aim, goal is to purify your mind. There can be nothing else gained through sadhana. Understand this. You cannot gain anything through sadhana. If you think that you can gain Brahmajnana through sadhana, that is the stupidest of a stupidest idea. You cannot gain Brahmajnana through sadhana, because if you accept you have gained the knowledge through sadhana, the liberation through sadhana, then liberation is something which is gained, achieved through some effort. Then what happens is it becomes, if it is a result of an action, then that result will become non-eternal. Realization cannot be eternal, and no one accepts liberation, realization to be non-eternal. So when this viveka, when this clarity is gained, then what happens? Nitya nitya vekastu jayate sudhastada. Then nitya nitya vekastu jayate, the discrimination, what is eternal and what is non-eternal, this kind of discrimination, this dawns in your mind. This knowledge is received, this knowledge is gained. What is eternal, what is non-eternal? Self is eternal. Whatever other than self, which is non-self, is non-eternal. This general idea, not that I know what self is and I discriminate the non-self from that is specific knowledge. The general idea of self and non-self, and self and non-self to be different, this is gained. The knowledge that self and non-self is different, what is self and what is non-self, and what the non-self should be renounced and self should be gained. This knowledge is received. This is the first stage. There are 4 prerequisites for liberation, realization. First is Viveka, second is Vairagya, third is Samadhi Shikha Sampatti, fourth is Mokshutvam. All that should be gained if you want to have knowledge. So first stage we have crossed. What is Viveka? What is that? Viveka. Now he says, Iha mutrartha vairagyam vashikaranabidham kramat tatah samadhi sampatya sannyase nisthito bhavet. So he says, Iha amutrartha vairagyam vashikara kramat tatah samadhi sampatya sannyase nisthito bhavet. Iha amutrartha vairagyam. Iha means here. Amutra means not here. Means somewhere else in the heaven. Artha means object. Vairagya means dispassion. Dispassion for objects of this world and the other worlds. Dispassion for the objects of experience of this world and the other world. And even among that Vairagya, we are talking about a special Vairagya called Vashikara Sanya Vairagyam Vashikara Abhidham Yatha Kramat. Vashikara Abhidham means that which has the Abhidha name, that which is called as Vashikara. Vashikara Abhidham means that which is called as Vashikara Kramat. Respectively, you will gain. What is Vashikara? There in Yoga Sutra, there are 4 kinds of Vairagya which is explained. Yatamanam, Vyatirekam, Ekendriyam and Vashikaram. Yatamanam. These things will be explained in the 6th chapter, but just an idea we will gain. Controlling of mind. The sense organs are controlled. That is Yatamana. Vyatireka means when there is a bad thought, you implant a good thought, contradictory thought. That is Vyatireka. Ekendriya means all the sense organs are controlled, only leaving one sense organ, Ekendriya, which is mind. Then the final is Vashikara. Even that is controlled. That is Vashikara. That Vashikara Sanya Vairagya is gained. There is another state of Vairagya called Para Vairagya. That Vairagya is an inherent nature of realization, liberation. That is the inherent nature of the liberated self, liberated person. Means, see, we say Atyanta Vairagyam or Charama Vairagyam Moksha Lakshanam. That ultimate Vairagya, when you have that absolute dispassion, that is what is a liberation. So, you gain this Vairagya called Vashikara Vairagya. Now, Tatah Samadhi Sampatya. Now you have gained Viveka somewhat and you have gained the Vairagya also somewhat. We don't have the prerequisites. These are qualifications. These are prerequisites. We don't have these prerequisites in total. We have a general prerequisite which will help us to, like in the examination, to gain border pass marks. We have to strive for distinction in discrimination, dispassion, etc. So here he says Tata Samadhi Sampatya. Then through the gaining of Shama, Dama, etc., all the prerequisites, Shama, sense organ control, internal organ control, Dama, external organ control, all this, through all this, then he says Sannyase Nishtito Bhavet. One becomes established in Sannyasa. Sannyasa means we already saw in the first class itself Jnanam Sannyasa Lakshanam. He will be established in the knowledge. He will have the desire for knowledge. He will not want anything else other than knowledge. Now, Evam Sarva Parityaga Muksha Jayate Dridha Tato Guru Upasadanam Upadesha Grahastataha. Now, we have gained Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi Shikha Sampatti. Now there is only one prerequisite which needs to be gained, which is Mumuksha. Moksho me bhuyati dridhecha. a very complete clarity, a complete desire, absolute desire to gain the liberation, realization. So he says, Evam sarva parityagat. Thus, when one gives up everything, sannyase nishtito bhavet, we said. What is sannyasa? When you ask Bhagavan Vashekara, he will say, Eshana trayatyaga eva sannyasa. Eshana trayatyaga eva sannyasa. The giving up of these three, renouncing these three desires is called a sannyasa. What are the three desires which needs to be given up? Only three desires? Very good, I will give up. If you say, first is putreshana, the love for son. Second is vitteshana, the love for wealth. Third is lokeshana, the love for the name and fame in the world. The love for world means the love for name and fame in the world. So, giving up these three desires is a sannyasa. When that sannyasa, that is why he says sarva parityagat. When you give up everything, when you give up these three, it is as well giving up everything else. So, when you give up everything, mumuksha jayate dridha, your desire for knowledge, your thirst for knowledge, your thirst for liberation, realization will become very strong. Muksha jayate dridha, your knowledge, desire for knowledge will become very strong. Okay. Then, what happens? Tato guru upasadanam upadesha krastataha. Okay, I have all the prerequisites. What should I do now? Nothing, just sit in the workhouse and just daydream, that's all. That is not how it works. Oh, I have left my house. That also is not of any use. See, even after gaining all these, there is one important thing which needs to be performed. If you don't do that, even if you have all these four in totality, it will be of no use. What is that one thing? What is that one important thing we are referring to? Guru. Approaching the teacher, Guru. If you have not approached the Guru, do it now. Because without the guidance of Guru, you cannot gain the knowledge. It is made very clearly by the Upanishads. Acharyavan Purusho Veda. A person who has a Guru understands. Acharyavan means one who has a Guru. Purusha, that person, Veda, understands this. Acharya deva vidya vidita sadishtam prapat. Another statement says, only if you gain this vidya, this knowledge from the Acharya, from the Guru, it will become established. Sadishtam prapat means it will become established. Otherwise, your knowledge may be gained somehow because of your past punya, but that will not stay longer. You will be running from pillar to post to get that established. There will be pain because of the separation from the knowledge which you have already tasted. All these problems arise. So he says, Guru Upasadanam. That is why Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, very see in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad there is a story. This disciple will be sent to the forest by the Guru, and he will tell, okay, take these cows into the forest and bring them back once they are 1,000 in numbers. Then he will take them and he will let them graze and all that, and at one point of time this deity in the cow, that will start giving him initiation. The crane will give initiation, this cow will give initiation, etc. Different forms, deities in different forms will give him initiation. But they will initiate him only in the three parts of the three quarters of the Vidya. When he asks them the fourth quarter, they say, go and ask your Guru. The Guru is the only one who can initiate you into the fourth quarter. Okay, then the cow says, okay, now we are more than 1,000, you can take us back to the Guru. He brings them back, he doesn't count. The cow tells him. He brings them back and The Guru, on seeing him, says, Brahmavat iva bhati. How come you are effulgent like a knower of self? Then this fellow, this disciple, tells him what happened in the forest. After that, the Guru initiates him in the fourth pada, the fourth quarter also. So, the tradition is, if you want to have knowledge, strong knowledge, absolute knowledge, that should come only from the Guru and none other than the Guru. And Mundaka Upanishad very clearly says, this fellow who, Shaunako Vai Mahayajñashala, this Shaunaka who is having a big Yajñashala, means he is a performer of rituals and in grand scale. Then what happens to him? At one point of time he understands that there is no point in doing all this. Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmana nirvedam ayat nastya krita kritena sa gurumeva bigachet samitpanihi sansrotriyam brahmanishtham. It says, Parikshalokan, after inquiring, after discriminating this world, what is right and what is wrong, what is eternal and what is non-eternal, karma chitan, this person with the mind which is purified by the karmas, brahmana, this brahmin, this person, the pure one, nirvedamaya, gains dispassion. What kind of dispassion? Nasti akritaha kritena. Through the action, kritena, through the action, akritaha, that which is not a result of action, cannot be gained. This knowledge he gains. Immediately what does he do? He does not get rejected. He just gains more confidence. Yes, now there is only one way. So Guru Meva Vigachet. So he decides to go to the Guru. And who is that Guru? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham. A Guru who has studied the Shastra in tradition and who is established in the knowledge. That kind of Guru. That is the definition of Guru. A Guru who has gained the knowledge from the tradition and who is established in that knowledge which is gained in the tradition. That is the definition of the Guru. And how does he approach him? Samitpanihi san. With something. You should not meet your Guru empty-handed. So he goes with something, some twigs, etc. Samit panihi. Pani means hand. Samit means the twigs. He carries the twigs and gives it to the Guru. Guru performs the sacrifices, so he takes them to him. Now, here, tataha Guru Pasadanam. The main part, he goes closer to the Guru. He approaches the Guru. Guru Upasadanam means he approaches the proper Guru. And then what? Upadesha Graha Tataha. He gains the teaching from him. He gains the knowledge from him. Upadesha means teaching. He gains that knowledge from him. Tata Sandehanaya Vedanta Shravanadikam Sarvamutramimamsa Shastram Atropayujyate. Now, Tataha Sandehanaya Vedanta Shravanadikam. That he understands the Brahman is, the self is eternal and whatever else is non-eternal. There is only one self. The whole creation is a fiction of mind. It is illusory. They are projected because of the ignorance. All this knowledge he gains. That is Tattva Jnana, general knowledge of what the truth is. But still, after listening to this, you will have doubts. Samshayaha, Sandehahanaya, to eradicate doubt, because there are two obstacles for knowledge, clear knowledge. One is doubt, the other is erroneous knowledge. So they have to be uprooted completely. Now this fellow has the doubts. So for removing the doubts, what does he do? Vedanta Shravanadikam. He performs the study of Vedanta. Listening, reflecting, meditating, contemplating. So, he listens to the Vedanta from the Guru, not study. Study here is to listen to Vedanta from the Guru. Then he reflects on whatever he had listened to. Then he contemplates on that. That is meditation. Contemplating is meditating. He meditates on that. Now he has gained the knowledge. And what is that he has to study there? Oh, you have to study all this Tarka, etc. Now this fellow has gained the clarity and he has studied all the Sanskrit, etc. Therefore, Sarvam Uttaram Imamsa Shastram Atropi Yujyate. After approaching the Guru, it is not that you do all the service and escape from the class. Don't attend his class. I am there. I attend. I do attend whatever other needs for him. But class, I am not interested. I am not interested in studying. My Guruji knows. That is why he does not compel me. He does not compel me because that is of no use. He does not compel me because he does not compel you because you are not ready to receive the teaching. Without a person not being ready to listen to the scriptures, one should not teach him. That is the basic teaching. Na prishta kaschin vadet. Don't answer anyone without being questioned. Now therefore, sandeha hanaya. You have to have doubts. And that is why you are taught Vedanta, general, Upadesha Graha. You said Upadesha, teaching is done. Then why is this Sravana, etc.? Upadesha in general. You have no idea what you have. You have to know. Therefore, we have given you general knowledge. Now, once you gain the general knowledge, you start having doubts. Without knowledge, there can be no doubt. When you have complete knowledge, still you cannot have any doubt. Only when you have the partial knowledge, doubt arises. So, you are given the knowledge. That becomes partial knowledge. Tattva Jnana, general knowledge about the truth. So, you will start gaining the doubts. It's like the teaching of Tarka Sangraha. You will be taught Tarka Sangraha once, then you will be asked, okay, did you understand? Yes, I understood. Then study once more. Did you understand? Yeah, I understood. Okay, study once more. Did you understand? I have some doubts. Okay, study once more. Did you understand now? Oh, this is full of errors. Oh, now you have studied. Now you are qualified for the next class in the logic. You have to understand it is all errors in logic. Now here you have to understand that you have doubts first. Now we are like an inert object. We don't even know that we have doubts. We don't even know what doubts there can be. So general idea about tattva is given through tattva bodha, etc. Then tata sandeha hanaya. Then there is doubt. To get this doubt eradicated, removed, you are given Vedanta Shravanadikam. You are taught the Vedanta. Sarvam Uttaramevamsa Shastram Atropeshate. What Vedanta? Some text is good enough, not everything. Because it is said in the Vedantic text itself. What has it said? Mauno Uttisthased. Just keep quiet. That is the best sadhana. And in other places, it is said, why should you study all this? Amurtasya esha setuhu, anyan vacha nimunchata amurtasya esha setuhu. Give up other talks. That is the only means to gain the liberation, the eternity. So, after learning once, one text, just give up. Don't study Shastra. For that we say, no. Sarvam Uttaramevamsa Shastramattropa Yujyate. The Uttaramevamsa Shastra, everything under the Uttaramevamsa Shastra. Uttaramevamsa Shastra means Vedanta Shastra. Whatever is taught in the Vedanta Mimamsa Shastra, all that is useful here. Because only when you have no doubts and when you have no erroneous knowledge, doubts means what is self? Is this self? Is body, sense organ self? Is mind self? Or is there no self? These kind of doubts. Erroneous knowledge means mind is self, body is self, or the void is self, etc. These kind of ideas. Wrong ideas about the self. So, to get rid of this, you have to have a clarity. To have a clarity, you have to study Vedanta until you gain that clarity. There is no other way. Okay, I do that. What happens? Tatastat paripakena nidhyasana nishtata yoga shastram tu sampurnam upakshiram bhavetiha. Tataha tat paripakena nidhyasana nishtata yoga shastram tu sampurnam upakshiram bhavetiha. Tataha, because of studying the Shastras, tat paripakena, when that fructifies, nididhyasana nishtata, you become qualified to be established in meditation, in contemplation, where there is no other thought which is disturbing this one thought of the self. That is meditation. So, you become established in that. Yoga Shastra comes to an end here. Yoga Shastram tu sampurnam upakshinam bhavediha. In this place, the complete teaching of Yoga Shastra, the samadhis explained in the Yoga Shastra, Dharmega Samadhi, etc., they come to an end. That Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Yoga Shastra comes to an end. That is not the Samadhi we are interested in. Then what happens? Kshina doshe tataschittam vakya tattvatir bhavet. Sakshatkaro nirvikalpaha shabdadeva upajayate. Kshina doshe, when the impurities of mind, sakashayam vijaniya, that is said in Mundaka Upanishad, you have to get rid of the impurities of the mind. When the impurities, see, earlier also it is said, Kshina papasya, your sins are removed, your impurities of mind are removed. That is not complete removal. Some removal. Now here we are talking about is absolute removal. When the impurities of minds is completely removed, then what happens? Tatas chittam, the mind, vakya tattvam matir bhave, tattva matir bhave, tat tvam tattva. It's not tat tvam, it is tattva. Tattva means the truth. The mati means knowledge. The knowledge of truth dawns, is gained. When you, the impurities of the mind is removed. Knowledge of truth means the knowledge of truth as told by earlier shlokas. The clarity of tat and tvam, and identity with the asi, through the asi. Tattvamasi. What is tvam? It is a Shuddhatma. What is tad? That is a Bhagavan, which is a Tvam is individual self, which is Shuddhatma. And what is Tat? Tat is Bhagavan, which is a Paramatma. That identity between the Paramatma and Shuddhatma, which is substratum of the individual self and the absolute self, the Bhagavan, Ishvara, the collective self, not absolute self, the collective self, then you gain clarity. That clarity leads to liberation. Sakshatkaro nirvikalpaha. That is the nirvikalpa sakshatkara. Nirvikalpa sakshatkara means vikalpa means choice. Choiceless liberation. Nirvikalpa. That is why it is called as choiceless state. Vikalpa means choice. Is it this or that? Or vikalpa, according to your Yoga Shastra, is Shabda Jnana Anubhati Vastu Shunyo Vikalpaha. It becomes an object of words, but there is no real object. Like mare's horn. Does mare's horn exist? You say no. How do you know? Do you understand what mare's horn is? There is no object of mare's horn, but you still understand mare's horn. That is a vikalpa. That kind of a thing is not here. When you say Brahman, the object, which is your own self, exists as the subject. There is this absence of subject-object relationship. That is why nirvikalpa. And nirvikalpa means attributes. Vikalpa means attributes. There is no attribute, state of attributes. So that is absent. So for that reason also it is called as nirvikalpa. For three reasons we call it nirvikalpa. First, nirvikalpa is a choice. Vikalpa means choice. Second, vikalpa means it is a object without a name, without object. Vikalpa, name without an object. That is also not existent. Third is like mare's horn. So, or human horn. Third is a vikalpa. Vikalpa means attributes, absence of attributes. So where these three kind of things does not exist, that kind of nirvikalpa, sakshatkaraha. Sakshatkaraha means immediate knowledge. That immediate knowledge is gained. Bhavet. And how does that? How do you gain that immediate knowledge? He says this is secret of Vedanta. Shabda deva upajayate. This term is secret of Vedanta. Shabda deva upajayate. It is gained only through the words. Words from the Guru of the Vedanta. Shabda deva jayate tattvamasi, etc. How can you gain the knowledge through the words? Vedanta says the paroksha jnana gives the paroksha object gives paroksha jnana through words. The aproksha object gives aproksha jnana through words. The knowledge of aproksha things, aproksha means those immediate objects, is gained as immediate through the words. The knowledge of mediate objects is gained as mediate through words. Like there is some planet or something in the external Swarga. Let us take Swarga. When I say Swarga, we have not an immediate knowledge, we have a mediate knowledge. There is something called Swarga. Yes, okay, fine. But when I say self, tattvamasi, then there is an immediate knowledge. Like when I say the 10th man exists. The whole problem is with us is the knowledge that first we have to gain the theory, then we have to do practical by meditation. That is the stupidest idea, and because of that idea we are bound. So generally in science, in physics, chemistry, biology, etc., we learn things in the classroom, and we gain the practical knowledge in the laboratory. Similarly, we think we have to gain the theoretical knowledge from the classroom and the practical knowledge by meditation. Like when there is a 10th man, we will give an example of aproksha jnana gained through words. When there is a 10th man who is thought to be lost among the group of 10 people, this guru, he comes and tells, no, the 10th man exists. Now the crying stops. 10th man exists, where is he? Now I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Now after understanding 10, yes, I am the 10th man, yes, 10th man exists. Now what does he do? Now they have to meditate. Does it sound right? No. Once he has gained the knowledge that I am the 10th man, there is nothing needs to be done. Similarly, when you understand you are the self, there is nothing needs to be done. Now here he says, Sakshat karo nirvikalpaha shabdade upajayate. The words give you direct immediate knowledge and not mediate knowledge. Only with respect to the immediate object, it gives you mediate knowledge. With respect to immediate object, it gives you immediate knowledge only. That is Vedanta secret. Now, avidya nivurtistu tattvajnano daye bhavet tadat avarane kshine kshiyete brahma samshayo. Avidya nivurtistu tattvajnanodaye bhavet tatah avarane kshine kshiyete brahma samshayo. Avidya nivurtistu. What happens? Tattvajnana, I have gained the knowledge of the truth, the self. What happens because of that? Avidya nivurtistu. Avidya nivurtihi. Tu, definitely. What happens? Definitely avidya nivurtihi. Avidya means ignorance, nivurti means removal. The removal of ignorance definitely takes place. Tattvajnanodaya bhavet. Not after the knowledge of truth, but during the knowledge of truth. When the knowledge of truth is gained, at that very moment the removal of ignorance also takes place. It is not in the next second or after 10 years, no. After your death, no. The moment you gain the knowledge, that very moment the ignorance also gets destroyed. It is like a coupling. When one is removed in a coupling, one couple or the circle is destroyed, the other one is automatically released. So here also, if the knowledge is gained, it removes the ignorance immediately. Because knowledge and ignorance are contradictory to each other. Knowledge cannot stand ignorance. The moment knowledge dawns, it destroys the ignorance. Okay, if knowledge and ignorance are contradictory, okay, so knowledge destroys ignorance. Similarly, when the ignorance becomes powerful, ignorance can destroy the knowledge also. No, that doubt cannot arise. Knowledge and ignorance are like a light and darkness. That is why Bhagavan Bhashyakara in this introductory Bhashya of Brahma Sutra says, Yushmalaspat pratyek gocharayoh vishi vishino tamah prakashavat viruddha svabhavayoh. Tamah prakashavat viruddha svabhavayoh. Knowledge and ignorance are contradictory like tamaha prakashavat, like darkness and light. When there is light, we say the absence of light as darkness, not the other way. The absence of darkness as light. No, we don't call the absence of darkness as light. We say the absence of light as darkness. Similarly, here also the absence of or the ignorance of the self is a creation. So, the moment the ignorance of the knowledge arises, the ignorance gets destroyed. We understand the self. So, he says, avidya nivrittistu tattva jnanodaya bhavet. That is a beautiful idea. Fine. Now, that is not the end. Tata avarane kshine kshiyete brahma samshayo. Kshiyete brahma samshayo. Your erroneous, brahma means erroneous knowledge. That is removed. Samshaya means doubt. Your doubt and erroneous knowledge are removed. But there is one catch here. This is again another Vedanta secret. He is introducing to all the Vedanta secret in the beginning itself. What does he say? Tata avarane kshine. See, avidya nivrittistu tattva jnanodaya bhavet. Avidya nivritti definitely takes place. The removal of ignorance definitely takes place once the dawn of knowledge takes place. But through that what happens? After that what happens? Avarana kshine. The avarana, the veiling gets negated. There are two powers of ignorance that is accepted in Vedanta in general. Not everyone accepts that, but in generally Vedanta accepts this. Avarana, the power of veiling. Vikshepa, the power of projection. Once the knowledge is gained, the ignorance is removed. There, only the power of veiling, avarana, is removed, not the power of projection, vikshepa. Why? Because if we accept ignorance is completely destroyed, then ignorance along with its effect, because we saw ignorance along with its effect is completely destroyed. In the first sloka itself he said, Sahetukasya samsarasya atyanto paramatmakam. Cause and effect both are destroyed immediately through the knowledge. Now if that takes place, then what happens? Ignorance is destroyed. The moment ignorance is destroyed, the whole creation, which is the result of ignorance, the effect of ignorance gets destroyed. The whole creation means not the external one, including your body sense organ complex, will be destroyed. Meaning you will cease to exist. You will suddenly disappear once the knowledge is gained. That will be the problem. So what? You said today that Guru Upasadanam, Upadesha Graham Tataha, Upadesha Graha and Guru Upasadam. You have to go to a Guru and study from him. That will be impossible because there will be no Guru. Because you said Guru is a Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, one who has studied in tradition and one is established in the self. That kind of choice is not anymore available because there is no Guru. The knowledge, once the knowledge dawns, he disappears. There will be no tradition. So we say, no. Only the power of veiling is removed. The power of projection still exists. That is why he sees you and his body, sense organ complex, etc. Till the karmas are destroyed. Even there, the karmas, when we mean, it is not all the karmas. Because he says, what? Anardhani karmani nashyantyeva samantataha. See, here, say karmas. Kshiya. There in the Mundaka Upanishad it is said, Bhidyate hrude granthi chidyante sarva samshya kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare para api avaraha. That highest state also is a lowest, for which that self, from that absolute state, when you understand that absolute state, tasmin drishte, when you gain the immediate knowledge of that absolute self, then bhidyate hrude granthi, the knots of the heart. Knots of the heart means chit jada granthi, we call it. Chit and jada are identified. Like the body is inert and the self inside is a consciousness. There is this bondage between the inert and the consciousness. And that is why we say I, etc. with reference to the alive person, not with reference to the dead person. We say you with a person who is alive, not a dead body. We say this. We don't say you, I, etc. We say this when there is no consciousness there. So this consciousness inert association is the confusion which is causing that idea that body, sense organ is self. That idea is negated. Vidyate hrude granthi chidyante sarva samshya. All the doubts about the self is negated. Kshiyante chasya karmani. His karmas are completely destroyed when he understands the self. Now in Bhagavad Gita also later we will say, Bhagavan tells to Arjuna that jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurutetha. The fire of knowledge destroys all the karmas. Now when we mean, there also it is said all karmas, here also all karmas, but karmani, all the karmas in plural, karmani plural, all the karmas. Now, though we say all the karmas, we don't accept the prartha karma to be destroyed. We will see this. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.